Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We are doing a video looking at some of my personal picks for the G discounts. I'm going to be honest, when it comes to aviation, a lot of the better premiums are pack vehicles. They are not G vehicles. So a lot of the G vehicles that are on offer are pretty decent, but they're not really up to standard compared to the pack ones. So if you're looking for like general grinders through like the mid tiers, then that's pretty good. But if you're having a look at like high tier stuff, like a lot of people recommend stuff like the MiG-21s, I personally am not a huge fan of them. I think the pack vehicles that you can get are just way better. So if you're looking for jets or looking for more high tier stuff, like really high tier stuff, it might be worth just waiting on the sales. So let's first of all have a look at the G stuff though. The first one I want to recommend is the F-84G31RE. This is a very bog standard aircraft. It's nothing really different compared to the standard F-84G21RE, which is in the tech tree. But it is a premium, and one of the problems with the Chinese tech tree is a lot of it is just copy-paste stuff, which is pretty dull to kind of play through. So I think if you want to pick up the F-84G or the Ki-84Co, both of which are fantastic vehicles to be able to grind through these areas, you can do it very efficiently. The F-84 gets an air spawn when it comes to aerialistic, meaning that it gets the energy advantage over most of its competition, and in ground, it has access to a bunch of different ordnance options, including 1,000-pound bombs and also a bunch of rockets too. So you can basically be useful in all of the different game modes and in a pretty decent way. It's super fast for its BR as well, meaning that it's quite hard for people to catch it, and then also has the 50 cals, the M3 Brownings, which do a lot of damage and are all centrally mounted, so easy to aim. So it's just not a flashy premium, but it's one that'll get you through the kind of dredge that is the early areas of China if you've already played the vehicles in other nations. Another vehicle that's very similar in terms of this is the P-47D22RE. Another vehicle that is not flashy, is not, crazy in terms of what it offers. It isn't unique or anything like that. It's literally just a P-47. But what it has access to is the really good bomb load that a P-47 gets for CAS, and also all of the other aspects that make it really good in air. It has the big engine on it. It has the good old 2863. It has the 50 cals. It has a ridiculous amount of ammo, meaning that you can stay in the fight for an incredibly long time and set up a lot of stuff around it. It also has the premium bonuses for France, and that also obviously helps it out quite a lot. And the thing about, once again, this French tech tree is it has an issue. The rank 1 and rank 2 are just not very good and not very fun. So getting a vehicle like this means that you can get through it quickly and then get to the higher echelons. Technically, you could get something like an AD4 if you wanted to do that too. It's just a little bit more expensive and generally not as useful in something like air as the P-47, but that's the general idea behind the P-47. It can grind through these so you don't have to worry about, playing a lot of the kind of low-tier squib aircraft and get into the nice jets or the nice areas that France has to offer. The G55S is an insane vehicle. It's been insane for the longest time. It has a perfect mix of factors that make it incredibly good fighter in the game. It has three 20mm MG151s with a ridiculous amount of ammo, meaning that they just hammer everything that's around, which is just really good. It has the DB605 engine that gives it a lot of power, meaning that it is really balanced between its speed and also firepower. And also at the same time, it does have some extra factors, like it can carry a torpedo, funnily enough, but also it can carry the 100 kilo or 50 kilo bombs. Now, this vehicle is just really easy to play. It just feels nice through the air. It has all of the nice factors of the Italian aircraft with some German ingenuity to make it even better. And at 5.0, it fits its BR perfectly and just feels really, really good. The one thing I also want to mention is if you are more interested in jets for the Italian tech tree, the Ariete is also really fun, but it's just at a BR where you can, basically run into missiles which can just donk you. But if you really actually kind of master the Ariete, it can be incredibly fun to play around the place. So just keep that one in mind as well. The next vehicle on the list is the SAAB 105OE. This is a strike aircraft once again for Sweden, which means that it gets an air spawn, and it means that it can get energy advantages over many different vehicles. At 8.3, it's nowhere near as good as it used to be, because it basically got a BR'd a bunch of things, and also a bunch of other vehicles got down BR'd, but it's still fantastic. It's still a super maneuverable aircraft, has access to the 30mm, so it does a lot of damage with them, and they finally added back the traces to these things, by the way, so you can actually use them effectively, where previously you just weren't able to see anything. And at the same time, it has the secondary armaments option now. So you can run stuff like the RBO-5A missiles and also the AIM-9Bs if you want to, if you really want to do that in ground, so you can have a bit of double dose. The other thing is you can also run the missiles with the cannons, so you're in a very nice position when it comes to air as well. This is one of the vehicles which has the lowest BR and also access to air-to-air missiles, especially of the AIM-9B variety. It also does have some other things too, if you want to bring some rockets, but there's not really much point. The main loadout you take is this one to be able to have a good time with. And it's just a fun vehicle, which once again just gets an energy advantage over the enemy, which means that you can use it quite well. And in ground, it also has a use because it has access to the missiles. The last vehicle I want to talk about is the Corsair, and there's plenty of Corsairs which are premium, so this kind of like applies to all of them. The Corsairs are in really good positions. You have the F4U1A here, you have the Corsair 2 for the British as well. Both of them are just great pickups because they're at an exceedingly low BR, but have a really, really powerful engine. This means that you can actually dictate the battle really well with this Pratt & Whitney R2800. You are fast about the place, and also because you have once again so much ammo on the vehicle, 2,350, you can stay in the air for ages and basically be able to outlast the enemy as you kind of pick them off one by one. You can use the speed to get into a position that you want to. You can use the general mobility at speed that a lot of other nations don't have to be able to take out others, which works really nicely. And at the same time, you can sustain for a long time with the fuel and the ammo that you have. It doesn't really have a dual threat, meaning that it doesn't get any secondary armaments, but the 50 cals nowadays, especially with so many light vehicles running around in the mid-tiers, it could actually be pretty useful at dealing with a lot of ground vehicles too, and also in naval against PT boats and the like. So there's also that. So this isn't just, talking about the F4U1A, it's also talking about the Corsair 2, which are both in really nice positions. The only issue with them is they're rank 2. And since they're rank 2, you can only do one daily with them. But if we see them as a general grinder to be able to get you into rank 3 and 4 with these nations, these are the perfect vehicles to do it. And along the way, you have a really good SL reward as well to be able to help you. So definitely worth it in my opinion. Very much enjoyable aircraft to fly. And I suppose if you want to give them a go before purchasing, they're available in the American tree. So you can see if you like them and then see if you want to spread your wings. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.